This Tuesday night's edition of SmackDown Live aired from Washington DC to celebrate a huge milestone, that being its 1000th episode. The show started off with a number of awesome and memorable moments that aired since its debut. They were all mostly there: Rhino goring Chris Jericho through the Ovaltron, the Big Boss Man ruining the Big Show's father's funeral, and even showing more recent events like Daniel Bryan announcing his wrestling return. It was a big night for SmackDown, as we were in for a night of exciting matches and big surprises as WWE celebrated this huge milestone with a bang, boasting many shocking returns. So let's waste no further time and get into number 1, Shane McMahon. The night kicked off with Truth TV and immediately a dance break, but R-Truth announced his first guest on the talk segment and introduced Raw's commissioner and former SmackDown general manager Stephanie McMahon. Regardless of what she said, she was met with a hurl of boos, but Stephanie was quickly cut off with the return of Shane McMahon. Shane O'Mac got some real love from the WWE Universe as he thanked them for their support throughout the years. However, this wasn't the only McMahon return for the night. Number 2, Vince McMahon. Just after Shane McMahon addressed the crowd, we heard the familiar No Chance in Hell theme, as the main man of the WWE, Vince McMahon, hasn't been seen on television for a while, but he returned with his famous strut down to the ring. Even though his return was long overdue on camera, he didn't say much and just hilariously joined in on the dance break. The segment between the McMahon family wasn't long, as after the third dance break, WWE cut into the first match, which was AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan versus the Usos. Let's be fair, did anyone think that the Usos would come out with a win? They were facing the team of the current WWE champion and a former WWE champion. Well, we were shocked when they managed to get the win, as Daniel Bryan accidentally kicked his tag partner in the face, costing them the win. What's even more shocking was the announcers making no big deal of the win. Number 3, previous SmackDown general managers. Right after the upset loss, we got a backstage segment that saw the current SmackDown general manager Paige with some of SmackDown's previous general managers, Vicky Guerrero, Teddy Long, and more surprisingly John Laurinaitis. They all made a quick cameo. Number 4, Evolution. One of the best segments of the night was seeing the much anticipated return of Batista and Ric Flair as they joined their former partners Triple H and Randy Orton, fully reuniting Evolution for the first time since 2004. Though we were slightly disappointed that both Triple H and Batista didn't wear suits for the occasion. Batista did most of the talking during the segment as he demonstrated some serious passion, putting over all his former teammates, and even managed to get a good chuckle from the crowd as he mentioned the Blue and Bootista jokes and telling Nate to not expose himself. However, it got serious towards the end as Batista seemingly teased a match between him and Triple H, saying he never beat him. When it looked like Triple H was ready to pounce, he just smiled and gave him a hug. But afterwards, that smile quickly disappeared. Will we now get an end of the Ruthless Aggression era match now at WrestleMania 35? Number 5, Edge. Despite rumours that he wasn't going to appear on the show after reports of his father-in-law passing away, the Rated R superstar returned, firstly in a backstage segment with his former protege Kurt Hawkins. Edge would return, and so would his show The Cutting Edge, with Edge being the moral compass between his two guests Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, who have recently been in a heated feud. Becky Lynch would come out first and get some great heat, ignoring Edge's advice and telling him to get out of her ring. Oh, and be careful you don't hurt your neck going through the ropes. Pure savagery. Charlotte Flair would then come out, but there would be little exchange of words as they started to brawl, ending the segment. Number 6, Jerry Lawler and Booker T. There were some familiar faces at ringside as WWE Hall of Famers Jerry the King Lawler and Booker T had their own announcers table full of pancakes as they commented alongside the regular team of announcers during the Bar vs the New Day match. It was certainly nice to see the King back in WWE after such a recent tragic event that involved his son Brian Lawler. Number 7, The Big Show. In what was a fast-paced and hard-hitting match between the New Day and the Bar, with the championships on the line, during the match, we had the unexpected return of WWE's resident giant, The Big Show, who seemed to first stalk the team of the Bar, only to swerve the fans with the 1000th heel turn, taking out Kofi Kingston by putting him through the announcer's table. As Big E looked on at the destruction of his teammate, he was nailed with a brogue kick, as the Bar got the 1-2-3 to become the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. The Big Show thereafter inexplicably showed his allegiance with the Bar, making them now possibly a formidable stable of 3 and at the top of SmackDown's tag team division. Number 8. Rey Mysterio. As advertised, Rey Mysterio made his proper return to WWE in a qualifying match against Shinsuke Nakamura for the last place in WWE's World Cup that will be held at the Crown Jewel event in Saudi Arabia. Whoop, wasn't supposed to mention that. Anyway, even though Rey didn't come flying out from under the stage like he used to, it was still the same awesome Rey Mysterio as he received a "You Still Got It" chant from the DC crowd. Mysterio managed to qualify for the last spot as he hit the 619 and a splash to secure the win. In what will be a huge star-studded match, Rey Mysterio will face off against John Cena, Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy, The Miz, who ended up defeating Rusev earlier in the night, Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler at the Crown Jewel event. Who will become the best in the United States? No, we mean the world. And number 9. The Undertaker. Rey Mysterio didn't get much time to celebrate his first WWE victory since January of 2014 as the lights went out and the bell tolled, signaling the Undertaker's presence. It's always awesome to see the Undertaker's entrance, and it was surely a nice treat for the DC crowd as the Undertaker slowly made his way down to the ring. Taker made his message brief and simply had 3 words for D-Generation X: rest in peace. SmackDown's 1000th episode would close out with The Undertaker on the stage with his arm raised high. It was definitely a solid show, but was this a decent milestone episode? Let us know what you thought of the 1000th episode of SmackDown in the comments down below. As always, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.